Today, I got an opportunity handed to me that I just couldn't turn down. In front of you, we have the CS63, a Tier 10 Polish collector medium that is currently in testing. Next update, this vehicle will be released as part of a tech tree alongside a bunch of other Polish mediums ranging from like Tier 6 and up. This tank is in testing, as I said. Wargaming is not giving me the go-ahead or permission to record today's video. Nobody knew anything about the tank until it was released, and then they had to go to my video and find out the stats. Why can't I post a video reviewing the tank, playing in it in its finished form, and then talk about the vehicle and whether I think it's good or not? I don't understand why this is such a challenging issue. On World of Tanks PC, people are, like Quickie Baby, even Chems, one of the most controversial YouTubers, is able to make videos on these vehicles before they're released. So why in Blitz are we so limited to what we do? I don't know, this tank just, there's nothing good about it. The gun is okay. It's got okay DPM, but it needs more. It either needs more accuracy or DPM. And I mean, sure, you could see this game that the tungsten was, something. So, I mean, I don't know, guys. The tank itself is... it's just not good right now. It needs buffs. It either needs more DPM or, as I said, more accuracy. Personally, I would like more shell velocity and better dispersion. Maybe even a bit more alpha, maybe 360 damage per shot with tungsten. The consumables are not going to save this vehicle. And yeah, it's weird. It's not what I would consider a fun tank to drive, and currently I would highly recommend to not go for this tank line when it is released into the game.
Yeah, CS63 D tier. No, you guys can't even be mad about that. You can't even be mad about that one, okay? DF. I don't even know anymore. D. We'll put it D. It has terrible penetration. Its DPM is mid for the tier. It requires tungsten to be competitive, and yet its alpha is still lower than like some of the tier 10s without meds, without tungsten. Its mobility requires you to run a bunch of provisions to even make its mobility useful. Like, it's undoubtedly, this is one of the worst tier 10 tanks Wargaming has rolled out of an update, just straight up. It is not it, Chief. Do you think the CS is worse? You think the CS is worse? You're right. CS gets to drop down with the Foch. Okay.
Have you already seen the brand new Polish medium CS63 tank? Here's a quick tip on how to get the most from this beast. The CS63 isn't a tank to take direct hits. It's designed for two roles. Play together with your allies, not behind them. Deal more damage and keep moving. Or you can stay behind your teammates and shoot precisely from a long distance with high penetration. Change your position when necessary. Use different equipment, provisions, and consumable sets for rapid damager and precise sniper. Try out both roles to find your play style. Play smart, and best of luck on the battlefield.
Y la encontré porque estaba la paellera agarrada entre estremecía entre las piedras de chipiones del faro. Y cuando entro en el restaurante me ve el cocinero con una paellera y a ver solamente paellera. ¡Asómate, mira dónde llega el agua! ¡Llegaba el agua hasta el restaurante! ¡Había subido la marea!
For any of you wondering, I am no longer banned on my main account. Yes, the ban was supposed to be till December like 17th or something like that, but I was able to get into contact with Wargaming support, and they did reduce my ban, so I've obviously been posting content on my main account for about the past 3 weeks at this point. The major reason I wanted to make today's video was to showcase just how irresponsible Wargaming's balancing team and marketing team is. See, the thing about Wargaming and the community contributors working under Wargaming is that they believe I have some sort of personal vendetta against the company, like I want to see it crumbling down from the roots and just completely fall apart. But why would I want to do that? My goal as a content creator is to grow the channel as much as possible. But my other goal is to make sure I am keeping my points clear, concise, and truthful. I'm not going to sit here and lie about the CS63. This tank is a pile of turds. Dog turds, to be exact. There is not a single reason why anybody should get this tank when vehicles like the STB, AMX-30B, and Leopard 1 exist. They are flat better in mobility, they are flat better in damage per minute, they have better accuracy, and even more alpha damage, completely diffusing the purpose of the tungsten rounds on this vehicle. There is nothing going for this tank. And the fact that I make a video 2 weeks before this tank is released, just showcasing the stats, say it's bad. Okay, that's understandable. Then I get my hands on the vehicle from somebody that offered me a test account. I make a video on the tank, showcasing the problems with it. What does Wargaming do? They ban me. Now sure, I understand why I got banned. It was stupid to make a video on the tank in test. But the points I said in that video still stand strong. As I have said time and time again, if Wargaming allowed YouTubers to make videos on these vehicles before they are released, it would give the community a much better understanding on how these tanks are going to play, and it might just give Wargaming the common sense to possibly change the vehicles before they are released, hearing the public opinion on them. You know what I think the funniest part of this whole situation is? The fact that Wargaming is so butthurt that I made a video showcasing the CS63 a week before it's released, that they would be willing to ban me for 3 months. But they don't realize the incompetence in their ways of balancing the tank. The CS63 is now the least popular medium in the game. There are more battles played in the Karo and Kampfpanzer 50-ton, two of the rarest and most expensive collectors, than the CS63. It is in fact the least played tier 10 in the game, right next to the Chinese TD, which just got mega buff, so I'd expect that to go up quite a bit in battles. Wargaming thinks that my video talking about the problems with this tank is going to be the reason why this vehicle doesn't have a lot of players, when in reality it's the fact that it is balanced so poorly that nobody that has a brain cell is ever going to grind down the line to play this tank when the Leopard 1 or AMX-30B exists. I'm not calling the people that work at Wargaming incompetent, but what I will say is that they don't know how to play this game. This clip here is from a short that I posted 2 months ago where we went up against 2 Wargaming employees. They're in the Wargaming clan, which is specifically only for Wargaming employees. This right here is a Wargaming employee, ladies and gents. Like, man has the situational awareness of a shoe, and we can very easily see this from the post-game results, judging that they did a combined damage of 103. Yeah, Wargaming employees are not good at World of Tanks Blitz, and because of that, it makes sense when some vehicles get released like this. Usually the way Wargaming balances vehicles is they have a bunch of stats in front of them. They have a graph, and it says this vehicle's doing well in damage, but it's doing bad in survivability. So they mess around with the armor and things here and there to try and balance out the stats. The problem is, when you don't actually have people in your company that are very good at the game, it creates a very poor balancing environment. As I've said in the past, Wargaming, I would be more than happy to help you with balancing. I've been trying to work under Wargaming for years to get into the balancing department and try and share some of my ideas, but as of right now, that seems like a reality that will never, ever happen. But the CS63 is a great example of what happens when Wargaming doesn't know how to balance the game. The VZ55 is an example of what happens when Wargaming doesn't know how to balance the game, and the WZ132-1 is a great example of how Wargaming doesn't know how to balance the game. All three of those vehicles I just listed have been the biggest flops in new tech trees released ever, and it's not like the tanks couldn't have been made well. The WZ has a fantastic mechanic, and now it's actually pretty good, but when it was first released, absolute disaster, and because of that, it has never gained the popularity that it truly deserves. And same for the VZ55. Wargaming releases it, and it's the most mundane vehicle ever. And instead of giving it the double shot that everybody wanted and taking it away from the Yo, instead we're left with a vehicle that just nobody really cares about. And that's the exact same situation for the CS here. It's not inherently a bad tank, there's just nothing going for it, so why would I ever drive it? Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If Wargaming or the community contributors watch this, once again, it's literally as simple and dry cut as it can get. Wargaming doesn't really know how to balance the game. Because of that, we're getting just failure after failure of tank release. Hopefully you all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.